prosecution for leaks under President Barack Obama was just filed the other day. Now, the news is in the paper today. An ex-FBI agent who had revealed to the AP a failed bomb plot in Yemen. And the Republicans accused President Obama of administration of leaking classified information about successes to make the administration look good, something that, of course, the Republicans do and Obama does and every president has done all the time. But they were making a major point of that in this case. And it appears from today's paper that for once the favorable news that a bomb plot had been foiled was not leaked deliberately by the administration, and to show that the administration was refuting the Republican claims of a deliberate leak in this particular case. They did search, had 500 interviews, and were unable to find, to resolve the case of who had been responsible for the leak, but eventually were able to do so, having secretly subpoenaed the telephone company for the telephone records of 20 newspaper lines, journalistic telephone lines, including a number of Associated Press lines. And in that, they were quickly able to determine from the telephone calls from the reporter, whose byline was on the piece, to a particular person who was now a contractor, had been an FBI agent, asking for information. They were able to get the content. It's clear from the paper here that they did not only get the fact of the call having been made, but were able to get the content of the conversation. The reporter was asking for information of a certain kind. The FBI, the ex-FBI agent Sachtleben, didn't have it at the time, but said he would look into it, and later did find the information. Again, they had the record of the call back to the journalist, and were able to pin him down, so that they got a guilty plea out of him, and a sentence he accepted of 43 months in prison for this. A plea bargain, apparently. I take it that they made a deal here. He was threatened with a very much longer sentence, although that's already the longest sentence actually given out in a federal civilian court. And I imagine that Sachtleben was impressed by the 35-year sentence that Chelsea Manning got in the court-martial that he was suffering. So they were able to get out of him a plea bargain for 43 months in prison for leaking this information. And the point is made in the paper, now what is almost a cliche to make, this is the 8th prosecution. Only 3 such cases were prosecuted under previous presidents, that is, all previous presidents put together. Now, given that Julian Assange is almost surely the subject, as his lawyers claim, of a sealed indictment in a Virginia grand jury, that would be the 9th case when they serve it on him when they get to Assange. 3 times as many as all previous presidents put together. Now, that's impressive in itself, if you know it, for a president who came into office promising greater transparency than any previous president, a promise which he has maintained exactly as his inauguration day promise to close Guantanamo. In other words, not at all. And a number of other promises that were made at the time. But what's the significance of this particular one? Not many people focus on the fact, including journalists, of how few there were earlier. Take the 2 aspects of it. 8 or 9 under Obama himself. Does that mean there have been 8 or 9 leaks? There are leaks virtually every other day, if not every day, in one paper or another. Classified information coming out without authorization, or at least allegedly without authorization. Let me correct that. There are far more leaks than that of classified information that are in fact authorized by an agency head or by the White House.